Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to the Crusher Trading Recap Show for Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. Had two great trades yesterday. Let's dive in and check these out. First one was on Meta. Now I've been playing Meta for the last couple of weeks just because it's been paying well and it's been working. But the first thing I do is I look at these moving averages. Remember, 9, 20, 50. I'm showing bullish on here on the larger time frame. And I'm also showing bullish on the 15, and I'm showing bullish on the 5, and let's check this out here on the 90-second. And we are showing bullish on the 90-second also. So with that said, what we do is we got to wait for the first green fair value gap. Remember the three rules: fair value gap above the 20, moving averages are in order, and distance. We got to calculate the distance between any major moving averages on the daily or any daily levels, okay, or larger time frame levels. So what I have here now is a level at 737.42, which on the 4-hour is an important level. It has a lot of touches on it. Let me see if I can open this up real quick so you can see this. Let me open up the 240. I'll just shrink this down so you get the idea. Here's the level right here, okay? We have a touch back on 926, another touch on 1010, and you can see it's respecting that level. So with that said, the way I'm playing Meta now, the way I did play it was, bear with me here, okay? Once we get our green fair value gap, we are above the pre-market high, so we're way above the pre-market high, and I wait for this candle to close. Now here's that level right here at 737. So I do take a couple starters, right, getting ready, because we are showing bullish on the higher time frames. Hopefully it goes. I didn't want to get too big of a drawback or a drawdown. I was hoping it was going to go right away, but anyways, I just took a couple contracts, and I was waiting for a break of this high, and I said, once we break this high, I'm going to add in to the rest of my position. And as soon as this candle broke right here at 9:45, I added 10 more contracts, and my goal was to get to the previous day high, which was right about here, and it was about a $2.65 run on Meta. Okay, that was it, pure and simple. Nice green fair value gap, right? Moving averages were all in order. Checked my distance. We're good. Once I broke it, I was in the trade full all the way to the pre-market high, and this is where I scaled out. Now I was hoping for a much bigger run. As you can see, for the rest of the day, we really didn't get much on that Meta trade. Okay. Now the next trade that I took was MSTR. Let me put this one up here. And let's move these. First thing I like to look at is the moving averages. Let's turn this back into the 15. And we are showing, right, a bearish sentiment on the 90, right, 50.29. So it is showing bearish. We are showing bullish right here on the 15. Let's get the 20 in there. There's the 20. A little bit messed up, but we are showing bullish. You can see that the 9 and the 20 are starting to move to the downside here in the pre-market, right? Which lines up with the higher time frame, which is showing bearish, right? And then we have the 5-minute, which is also showing bearish, right? And then we have the lower time frame here on the 90-second. Get this up here. All right. We got messed up moving averages in here. So we got the messed up moving averages here. We're showing bearish. We do have a bullish sentiment here and a bearish sentiment here. So the first thing I'm doing, is in favor of the CIZ. However, because the larger time frames are showing a move or bearish move to the downside, especially in the pre-market in the 15, it's looking like it wants to start heading down. Okay. So with that momentum and the higher time frame being bearish, when we get into the open, right, and things starts to move down, right, we don't break the pre-market low, right, until about 10:05, right? But we do move to the downside. We retest that 20 EMA. Let me get these fair value gaps in here. Right? Here's our first red fair value gap. Price comes back, breaks below, retest, comes back down. So I go over to my 90-second here, right? And I'm looking for a good entry. And here I get a starting entry right here. I wait for this to close. Here's my impulsive candle to the downside right in here. I am below the pre-market low. And so here's where I get into the trade to the downside. Boom, right down to the CIZ. Okay, that's my goal, is to get this down to the CIZ. Then flip and take the CIZ trade. Now, because I don't have any 15-minute fair value gaps when I get to the CIZ and the moving averages are messed up, I automatically get into my CIZ at the CIZ, at the crush it zone. Okay, now if I had a red fair value gap, which one does end up showing up a little bit later here at about 10:15, but I'm already in the trade, so I'm going to finish that trade out. But if I did have a red fair value gap before 10:15, I would wait for a move above the 9 EMA right here. You can see we finally get one with a nice crossover also. Here's your crossover right in here. Here's your first green fair value gap. Get your retest right in here. You get the arrow, and everything else is moving to the upside. Okay. So once again, CIZ, because the moving averages are messed up. I will take this to the downside. I am showing bearish right here. It is showing bearish, so I don't mind taking it and hoping for the bigger run. But once it flips over, I can switch my trade now to a CIZ trade, and that is how we get our win on MSTR. There's a couple other trades for the day, you guys, but I'm going to keep this one short. I did put the moves that I took today on MSTR and Meta, so check this out here at the end of the video, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care. So I had some Tesla puts from yesterday that I took into the earnings, so I'm going to go ahead and sell those right now. It's not meant to be a big hold. It's just an overnighter. IV will change, and it could change the cost of those also, so I'm not taking any chances. That's $5,900 on Tesla from yesterday. And all right. Sorry, guys, I didn't start the recording, but I'm in on MSTR to the downside on that break of the ORB. And still in Meta, we had this flag pattern right here that we just broke up. And so I'm looking for a move above 742 on Meta to the 50 SMA. Okay, look at that, you guys. Beautiful win on MSTR. Come on now. Let's take these off. I'm taking 7 contracts off. Right there. I'm going to hang on to 3. Beautiful win, 9%. Maybe not the best one, but that was a great trade. And actually, because of the CIZ, I'm going to go down to 1 contract. So I got 1 contract on MSTR, and I got 1 contract on Meta. And I'll look at Meta here. If we can break this level here, the high a day, definitely am going to consider this right here for a move up to the 50 SMA. Fast move there, very fast move on MSTR to the downside. I'll show you here. So this was the move right here, middle screen right here. Nice move down to the here, and this is a nice big hammer candle here to the upside, and we do have this ascending trend line. So I decided, I know, probably got scared, and I sold most of my trailers here, and I got 1 trailer left here just in case, but I will try to hold this to see if we can get down below this ascending trend line and hit the previous day low, right? Nothing to worry about there. And then here is our Meta trade. Once again, looking to get above here. And let's put in this here. So there we go. So good thing I sold out on that MSTR. Very quick trade. So up 5.2%, up $160 per contract on Meta. And at this point, we're going to sit still again, waiting for that opportunity. So what do you got here? What was your question there, Nelly? Sorry, I was in the middle of that. Yeah, he's talking about the bid and the ask. I always buy on the ask and sell on the bid. That's just how I roll. Ooh. you know what I'm going to do is, thinking here, I might just dump that Meta there. I think I'm gonna sell Meta, and it might come back to bite me, but I want the 160 on it. Things are very lethargic. I think they're kind of bouncing around. We could get a bigger move later in the day, but it's not something I'm going to be hanging on for the rest of the day. I do feel good with MSTR. I'm going to hang on to MSTR for a few more minutes here and see if we can get that break, and then I'll dump that one if needed. So I decided to dump the Meta. Now this could break and go higher. I know, probably should have waited, but I want to focus I want to focus in on MSTR here. And I just feel like the markets are a little bit choppy right now. And I feel like the probability of it going down is better than going up. And being that I have MSTR to the downside versus Meta to the upside, I think I'd rather just hang on and watch MSTR. So one contract on MSTR to the downside here still. And we'll keep this one up here and see what kind of move we can get. We are going against the grain here, so we should maybe possibly even see a CIZ trade here. You can see we're coming into the 50 SMA and the 15, so something else to be cautious about. But good day, you guys. We had a good day trading. We did, I always say, there's always at least one CIZ trade on my watch list. And today, the CIZ trade was on, so far, was on NVIDIA. It was on NVIDIA. There's your that is not quite a winning trade, but it's almost there. We'll put that up there on the watch list. So there we go. Good decision. Right now, it looks like a good decision that I dumped Meta and staying in MSTR. And we'll keep holding that one. That one's up 17%, $110 per contract, even with the 60-cent spread on there. Take care, Pappy. Have a good day. Congrats on your win on Palantir. We'll come back tomorrow and keep plugging away.